All right. Well, I hope you all had a really great holiday. Some of you might notice the background behind me is a little bit different. I had to move my computer and all of my equipment into another room to isolate because I caught COVID and I didn't want to get my roommate sick. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded for a minute. Things have just gotten kind of crazy and I didn't really have the time to dedicate to making a video really until now. So I wanted to try something a little bit different today. Um, it's not a new game, but it's a game that I think could work well with the channel. It's a mix of text-based adventure and combat, which I believe kind of definitely runs through with the theme of in the same theme as World of Horror, but just to change things up a little bit, try something new. It's Steve Jackson's Sorcery. It comes in a few different parts. We're going to start on part one, obviously. So let's just jump into this and see what happens. Part one, the Shamatanti Hills. I think I'm going to pick I think I like this warrior better. Wow. It's really intense. You have walked the wilds of Kakabad through Kar and the spiteful Baklands, all the way into Mampang. You have survived traps, thieves, serpents, and vengeful gods. And now it is here, the Crown of Kings. It is said the crown was never forged, only found, by Shalana the Reformer, a lowly foot soldier who became emperor of the Eastern world. Such is the power of the crown. The air around it crackles with influence. I say we just take it. Or just take it. Just sounds like a good deal. Your destiny awaits. With the crown in your hands, you will be as powerful as Shalana. The goblins are arming, the giants are waking, and the birdmen carving cruel daggers from stone. War will come, but you will prevent it. But then, the image of the crown begins to flicker. You rush forwards. It's a trap. And startle yourself awake. You are alone, exhausted, in the little hut in the outpost settlement. Your unimaginable journey is not even a single step begun. The wording in this is interesting. The theme of this game is definitely a little more lighthearted than what we're used to. Or at least so it presents itself. I don't know. I heard this. I watched some stuff on this, and it looks like it can get pretty hardcore. It almost has almost like a roguelite kind of element to it. Okay, so it looks like we just woke up. It is sunrise. You dress, breakfast on bread and goat's milk, and collect the pack and sword from beside your bed. So we have three options here, which seems to be the theme in this game. You get some kind of narrative to describe what you're doing, and then it'll give you a few options to choose from, which I think is interesting because you can explore the map in the game. It doesn't seem very linear. Let's so we have a sword. We just say we're dressed. Let's test the blade. You pause to test the blade against your thumb. The blacksmith has done well. The edge is keen and draws a narrow line of blood. Outside the hut, you hear the outpost settlement stirring into life. Let's pray for luck. Taking a moment more, you close your eyes and raise a prayer to your spirit guide. This morning, it has the form of a panther. But what will it become once your journey truly begins? A great calm descends on you. Interesting. Interesting. Time then to depart. You lift back the flap of the hut and step into the early morning sunshine. So we're in some sort of medieval settlement right now. Let's go to the outpost. Eyes follow you as you leave the hut and walk towards the great Shamatanti wall. The frontiers people of this tiny settlement are well aware of your mission. Let's we have two options. We can greet them or we can ignore them. Maybe let's just ignore them. Well, let them look. When they next see your face, they will be celebrating the triumphant return of a bold adventurer. A man is waiting on the path to the Kantapani Gate, the final doorway between Analan and the wilds of Kakabad. I'm gonna have to. Some of these words are a little bit of a twist. You recognize the sergeant of the Sightmaster Warriors. He holds out his hand. I really think the illustrations in this are awesome too, which we're going to be seeing a lot of. Let's greet the sergeant. Seems like the sergeant is someone that you recognize, maybe a friend. Greetings, Sergeant. He touches his forehead with two fingers. You are almost ready, my lady, he says. I have for you a gift from the king, 24 gold pieces. It is all we can spare this time. He holds out a pouch. I'm inclined to take it, but it seems like if it is all that they can spare, maybe we should... I don't think we should totally refuse the offering, but maybe let's take half as just a good gesture. You take the bag, count out half the coins, and return the rest. The king will need them should I fail, you declare. You choose a harder path, but I respect you for it, the Sightmaster replies. You must collect your spellbook if you wish magic to aid you. And should you wish to practice your swordplay, I will go one last round with you. And he points with his staff towards the training grounds. Okay, so we've got a little bit of gold. 12 gold pieces, okay. And what type of weapon do we have? Okay, we're just packing a sword. Interesting. It looks like the this eagle. I think I said panther before. I wonder if the spirit that you pray to changes over time. Okay. Let's do this. Let's collect the spellbook. So we're gonna go to the hut over here. One of the huts, set slightly back from the others, is decorated with glyphs and strange symbols. A terrible smell emanates from its doorway. This is the hut of the chief mage. He has been preparing your spellbook for days, reading star charts to work out which spells will be available to you in the different locations in the hills and beyond. Okay, I'm inclined to take the spellbook, so I am going to go inside. You lift the flap and go inside. The mage looks up at you with haggard, sleepless eyes and presses the book into your hands. Do you understand how to use this? He asks. I don't know, so let's ask them to tell me. Each spell is crafted through the alignment of 3 stars, he begins. The spell Zap, for example, is made by aligning Zarathustra, Aegis, and Pini. But that is not important. What matters is what the spell is called and what it does. Zap will give you control over lightning. Hot will create a fireball. Foff will create a force field around you. Shall I continue? this is kind of interesting, so I'm just gonna let them elaborate. I'm taking this kind of as a tutorial too. The Mage Nods. The Law spell is formed through Lilith, Aegis, and Wex, and it will allow you to control the will of unintelligent creatures. The Wall spell is quite different and uses different stars. The order matters, you see. Wall creates an invisible barrier. You will find the rest in the book, he adds, tapping the leather-bound volume. Let's just accept the book now. So it seems like you can craft spells to use through this kind of 3-letter system. He scratches absently at his ear. Remember, some spells will cost you effort to use, but the ones that don't will not work without a focus, an item of some kind. You will need to read the book to know what. Okay, research magic using the spellbook button on the map. Okay, that's interesting. Let's open the spellbook. Sorcery spellbook. This volume contains the 48 spells of the High Craft, as discovered and passed down from generation to generation of sorcerers from the earliest days of the Eastern world. Each spell is formed of 3 letters, and each spell will take energy to cast. Furthermore, some spells will fail without the use of a particular item or focus. Okay. So, here's some of the words the mage already spoke about. All these spells are extremely tiring and will cost you 3 points of stamina. Okay. So, here's the breakdown of the spells. Interesting. Wow. Okay, we're gonna have to just keep probably run through this book a little bit later, depending on when, judging on what type of situations we're gonna run into. But I believe it said there was it 84 spells? Oh, 48 spells. Okay. 48 spells. That's cool. Let's here's the training ground. I'm gonna buy a ration. I feel like that may not be a bad idea. Small traders in the settlement supply the Sightmaster warriors with weapons, armor, food, and clothing. You go over with the sergeant to a stall selling flatbreads and cheese. 2 gold pieces per ration, the owner says. We have, I believe we only took 12 gold pieces. Let's buy 2 rations for 4 gold. Actually, let's see if we can haggle them. Do you know who I am? I am Analan's great new hope, you tell him. That's one way to come up on the, walk up on someone who's selling fast food. It's like if you go to like a Dunkin' Donuts, you start trying to tell him you're the who you are. Do you know who I am? The man looks uncomfortable. I know that, but I have to feed my family today. Whatever happens to the crown. Okay. We're not going to be able to swing weight on him. It's probably not the best town to be trying to haggle anyone. Let's just buy 2 rations. Okay, I see we have the gold counter up here. I missed that. You hand over your coin, and the man places 2 rations carefully into your pack. You must be sure to eat every day or you will suffer, the sergeant tells you, standing at your side. Eating more will give you extra strength, but is not necessary. Check the contents of your pack using the items button on the map. Okay. The interface for this game is very simple. I'm kind of under the impression that it's funny because like when I saw this game, I I thought it looked pretty cool, even for a game that's a few years old. But this type of layout, I guess, doesn't demand like some kind of super high-end graphical interface. Let's go to the training grounds. The combat system in this game is interesting, and it's one of the reasons why I shrank the window down to fit within the screen, because my cam would be blocking some of the combat sequencing. You walk with the sergeant to the training ground, and he wraps the base of his staff in leather. Let's ready our sword. So the combat in this game works like this. Basically, your stamina appears to be your health. And you have a sequence. It's not necessarily a sequence. You have an attack gauge here that when you move your character forward, it defines the distance that you're moving them as a certain type of attack. So the further you move forward, the more heavier of an attack you're going to do. But if the enemy attacks you for more damage, or if they block you, you're going to deplete your attack power. So you kind of have to balance the attack and defend sequence. It's not as easy as just going 100%, because if they block you, you're not necessarily going to be able to attack or defend yourself. Or let's just run through it. It might be easier just to show you. To begin, the sergeant says, "We will practice the stances. First, defend yourself against me. Choose your attack power by dragging your character sideways. To defend, stay fully left." So we're going to just defend. Our attack meter is at 0. Let's defend. So they went for like a full heavy attack, and we blocked it, which did do 1 point of damage, but not as much damage as they could have done, and it's completely depleted their attack power bar. The Sightmaster is a powerful enemy. By defending, you will receive the minimum damage from any attack he makes. The Sightmaster Sergeant chose a strong attack. I think they chose a full 9. That's like the maximum amount they can go. You turn it away with minimum impact because we defended. I will now defend myself, he says. Whatever attack you play will damage me, but a strong attack will use up more power. You should choose a weak attack. So, because they're going to defend, I don't want to use a very powerful attack, or it's going to deplete my attack power, which is this kind of beige coloring in here, and you'll see this drop when I attack with a 1. So we're going to do a very mild attack. We're going to sideswipe. So they still took a little bit of damage, but we didn't use a lot of our attack power. It only depleted a little bit. So we will be ready to attack on the next turn. You swing with a weak attack, rushing for the Sightmaster Sergeant, who is defending. Good choice. A stronger attack would have wasted more of your power. I will defend myself again, he says. So I'm going to attack with another weak attack. You play a low attack, overpowering the Sightmaster Sergeant again, who raises his defense. You played carefully and won that round. Well done. My next attack will be weak, he declares. You will be able to overpower me by playing a stronger attack. Be sure your attack is stronger. Make a strong attack by pulling your character to the right. So I think they're going to do like a weak side swipe, kind of like how I've been doing to them. Let's crank this up to like a 3. And let's see what they end up doing. Okay, so they attack for only 0.6. Okay. Combat is pretty straightforward. I'm interested to see how the spells work in conjunction with that, if that's even possible. You make a medium attack, injuring the Sightmaster Sergeant once more. He bows. You have finished me. Excellent. 1 stamina lost. Skilled swordplay. So we did lose 1 stamina earlier. Let's continue. You seem to remember the basics, the sergeant says, breathlessly. Good. Another round? I'm done with the training. I want to go fight some real some real enemies. You shake your head. Very good, the sergeant agrees. But if you wish a bout in earnest, then I warn you, I will not go easy on you. He indicates the wider yard where there is space for a true match. He's mad. You just whooped him. He's saying he's like, nah, you wanna fight? We can keep going. Let's approach the gate. I think the roll out of the tutorial sequence here and let's get out into the wild where our choices are going to dictate how long we survive in this crazy land. You reach the foot of the mighty gate. It is sealed. The sergeant places one hand on the wood. The gate has been locked for some time to deter raiders, he tells you. But you will have no difficulty. The stars in this place allow the DOP spell to be crafted, and he stands back. Okay, let's try casting one of these spells. Click the letters to find a spell. Okay, so we know it's DOP. So D-O-P. Cool. Open locks and doors. Requires 1 stamina. Okay. I didn't realize the spells were... I guess I did see that there was stamina draining. You weave the spell. One by one, the great tumblers of the door begin to creak and groan. Then the hinges turn, with a noise like hail on a canvas roof. These gates have not opened since our last champion was lost, the sergeant says. I wish you more luck than he. Perhaps you will even meet him on your travels. Okay. I didn't realize that there was another champion. I'm not going to assume that he's dead. If I overtake him, then he is too slow. I'm just going to say that does not concern me, because I have a feeling that just by the sergeant mentioning the fact that there's a champion, we're probably going to run into him, and they're probably going to be evil. That does not concern me. The sergeant nods. Very well. Okay. Let's enter the gate. Together, you step into the shadow of the wall. One last word, he declares. When you have the crown, find the highest point you can find. We will be watching. I understand. I will not wish you a safe journey to Kar, for the way ahead will not be safe, the sergeant murmurs as he peers into the distance through the open gate. The Sightmaster warriors are selected from birth for their incredible powers of telescopic vision. You cannot help but wonder how far he can see. Let's ask him, tell me what lies ahead. This path leads first to Kantopani, a settlement of traders, though most are rogues and thieves. You should be there before the sun has reached its peak. From there, 3 routes lead on to Kristatanti, but no single route is safe. Kakabad is a land of devils. That's these tongue twisters. I'm gonna have to relearn some words. And beyond Kar, I cannot see so far, he says, but once you have crossed the city port of Traps, you will enter the Baklands. They say that day and night there are controlled by forces other than the sun, and from Kar, too, your progress will be watched. It is time to go. Striding away, you pass through the gate. The faces of the folk watching your departure reveal the hopes that rest on you and your quest. The early morning air is crisp, and the rising sun paints the slopes in shades of peaceful beauty, concealing the evil that lies ahead. I think the Peter Jackson series is books that were choose your own adventure books. So the the writing in this is like it's very good. I I think that's one of the things that interested me about this game. The path winds through slopes of wild scrubland. The countryside is deserted, and the eerie silence is broken only by the cawing of the occasional crow. There is a spell for hearing what they say, but you do not have the equipment it requires. The birds appear to pause in the air to examine you as they pass. Stupid creatures. They pose no threat, so you ignore them. I wouldn't be talking about them like that. They're actually pretty smart. Barely an hour beyond the wall, and the air begins to grow foul. The Shamatanti hills are infested with the pestilence of the Balkans. It saps the energy from your body, leaving you feeling nauseous and weak. Let's It gives us the option to cover our mouths or keep walking. Excuse me, I'm going to cover my mouth. You cover your mouth with your neck scarf, but it does no good. They warned you of this. You will grow accustomed to it the longer you are out here, but for the moment, you must be very careful. Your maximum stamina just decreased. You can see your stamina at the top of the screen. If this reaches 0, you'll be too tired to carry on. Stamina can be regained up to the maximum by eating rations or resting. Okay. So it seems like we are provided with two choices here. We can travel cross-country, I guess north through this Kentapani gate. Oh, I see. This is the name of the gate. So up here towards, through these fields. Or we can go east to Kentapani, which was the city that the sergeant was mentioning. This is a low rise. That's a good question. Let's see. Let's take a look at the map here. Looks like if we go cross country, is this a settlement here? This looks like this could be some kind of camp. There is some kind of sea down here. This town leads to a forest and some mines. I think this is Simsosa River. I'm like not too... I'm almost like wanting to go up through the fields, but I'm wondering if we go through the town, if we're probably going to run into some interesting characters. Looks like we can't really go very far either way. Well, let's maybe go cross country. I'm kind of interested to see what's up through the fields. The path through Kentapani is long and winding, and will lose you a day. Instead, you turn off the path and strike north through the knee-high grass. The journey starts with a stiff climb that takes several hours, but from the top you have a good view of a plain of yellow grass, and just to the north of that, a little village of rude huts that do not look like human dwellings. Ooh, that's interesting. To your left, the gigantic wall looms, throwing shadows that lap at your feet. We can look back at the wall or we can strike forwards. Let's strike forwards. Let's keep moving. Time to strike on then. The wind whispers through the long grass, beckoning you onwards. But there might be rats and worse in those fields, so you might be safer cutting across to the river and following the bank. That could be true. I mean, I really don't know what the field holds. I'm not opposed to breaking distance from the wall, the riverbank. Sounds like we still got those crows following us. Let's go... Well, they're saying these settlements might not be human, so I'm interested to see what type of creatures that we run into. Let's take the riverbank. You crest the rise, heading roughly north towards the riverbank. where you should be able to pick up the path once more and make faster progress. As you head down the hillside towards the riverbank, you spy a movement in the distance. Something is happening at the water's edge. It gives us a choice to keep going or to wait and watch. Let's wait and watch. Let's see what's going on by the water's edge. You stop where you are and strain your eyes to look. Figures. Men? But they move too fast, flitting across the riverbank like sheets snapping in a breeze. I want to keep watching this because it's probably some kind of crazy magic. You wait a little longer until you are quite sure. The creatures are floating and moving through the air, but they seem harmless enough. Your guess is that they're fishing. Okay. I like how it does give us the option to head back. It's like, are you sure you just don't want to go back to Cantopani? They already told you that there's just traders down there. Do you want to run into these flying creatures? Let's just approach the creatures. I know this is probably not going to pan out. It's probably not going to pan out very well. I wasn't expecting to run into something so crazy already. You begin to make your way down the hillside. The grass gives out and turns into scree and gravel with the occasional patch of sharp gorse that tugs and snags at your tunic. There is barely earth, just sheer rock. This place is a thinly disguised wasteland. Then suddenly your foot slips and you lose your balance. Beneath your feet, the slope has turned into a steep drop and you are sliding down it. You have only seconds to decide what to do. Is there a spell we can cast? Oh, I have not I have not looked at this. I have not looked at the spell book. It'd have to be like something that would catch our fall. Oh, I see. We can't pull out the book. I'm definitely not going to guess. Probably not going to just cast a random spell. It's not a good idea. Stab my sword into the ground. Try to fall well. Well, I'm just afraid of losing the sword. I'm trying to think in a situation if you're actually sliding down a hill. You have only seconds to decide what to do. I feel like stabbing our sword into the ground is probably going to ruin the blade. I mean, we put ourselves in this situation. We weren't looking at the ground. Let's just try to fall well. Probably going to lose some stamina. Right. There isn't any time to risk something clever. Instead, you concentrate on the way you slide, hoping to brace the impact when you finally hit the ground. Everything is a blur of stones and choking dust and pain, but finally, level ground comes up to meet you and you hit it sharply. Pain arcs up through your thighs. Okay, we've lost 2 stamina because of that. Let's check ourselves. You take a moment to pat yourself over, mostly in one piece. Thank the spirit. You pick yourself to your feet. But the noise of your fall has attracted the attention of the creatures by the water. 2 of them are now either side of you. They're already here, long sting-like swords drawn. Their heads are cocked a little to one side. One of them steps forward and speaks in the common tongue. What are you, careless creature? Alright, so we've already kind of... I wouldn't say that we made a fool of ourselves, but our entrance has been less than great in terms of a great warrior. I'd say we might talk our way out of this by just saying that we're nobody. I don't want to just fall into a whole group of people and just be like, oh, this dude just fell down a hill, and I'm like, yeah, it's me, I'm a great warrior. Who are you? You know, I'm cool. I'm nobody. The creature laughs. For nobody, you make quite a lot of noise. I thought you were going to bring the mountain down around us. I like how the other option is ready my sword. Like, you make a joke and then you just pull the sword out on him. I'm just gonna laugh. You laugh as well, from the shame and from relief. I'm lucky I'm still alive, you agree. I've seen luckier, the creature replies, its voice still waspish and cruel. Um, I don't think we have any reason to put the creature in its place unless the creature tries to make a move on us. Let's just walk away. Let's see if we can get out of this situation without having to fight them. You nod to the creatures. I need to be going. And make to step away, but they close up in front of you. This is already turning into a bad situation. The leader draws a second sword from his belt. This valley belongs to the Elven, he says. Fools and traveling players are not welcome by our river. You would put us in danger. Interesting. So they're kind of like sizing you up. They're telling you, like, because we've kind of fallen into their territory. It's like a whole gang that's moving in on us. We have an option to try to be passive, or we can get aggressive and fight them. It seems I'm still going to try to talk my way out of this because I just don't think it's a good idea to get into a fight with a bunch of fishermen. It's not something I want to go back to the village and proclaim. My first fight was with a bunch of people fishing out by the river. I'm going to just say I mean you no harm. I mean you no harm. Harm? What do you know of harm? The creature replies hotly. Have you lived to see your village overrun by goblins? Have you worked to turn your own homes into death traps to catch marauders? We elven are creatures of the sunlight, moved into shade by the weakness of your king. Analander, the king who lost the crown, and we will suffer for it. So it seems like there's some kind of... something like a deeper interaction happening here. I'm still gonna... the option to say I go to recover that crown, I'm still trying to work with them. I really don't want anything to... really don't want to have to fight these elves. Because the other options, like, you will suffer and die. I'm just not trying to... I'm not trying to be that person yet. I'm gonna say that I go to recover that crown. Oof, they're just really not giving me the option. They're just ready to go. The creature shakes its head. Then we are all doomed. A champion who cannot even climb down a hillside. We would do better to skewer you now while you still breathe. The creature flashes those twin blades. There's no time for magic. Very well then. You will face them in combat. They really did not give me a chance. Act like no one's ever made a mistake before. Well, I mean, they just made a mistake because I'm gonna have to size them up. All right, so we've got enough stamina to let's go with a defense move on the first attack. Their attack bar actually is not as long, so I'm assuming that we can probably always... let's see, 5 stamina. How much... I think even if we went full bore, they'd probably still have maybe a few stamina points. I think whatever damage you do over them is what carries over. Let's go with a let's defend on the first one. Okay, they defended too. Now I will teach you why the Elven have such a fearsome reputation, the creature declares. He drops back, using both his skewer-like swords to cover himself. You drop into a defensive crouch. The two of you watch each other patiently. I'm still not making the first swing. I'm just still not going to make the first swing. I'm interested to know if we can still get out of this. Maybe not. Okay, so you stay low, shimmering in close for an instant. The Elven nicks you with a lightning-fast blade. I can kill you by finger widths if you choose, he taunts. You are safe. He shifts left. Yeah, I say we swing on him. I think that was the call. Let's go with the 4. Let's go with the straight cut. Enough of this. You aim a savage blow at his chest. but he has enough balance to turn and deflect most of the force of the blow. The elven is badly bruised. I still want to give him a chance, but they're... I mean, I think at this point, once someone starts swinging on you, there's nothing we can really do. They're not going for like heavy attacks. I'm gonna do a 4. I'm gonna go for the cut. And we still got it on him. You show no mercy. You leap forward, cutting down through the air. The elven gasps his last as you run him through. 1 stamina loss. Decent dueling. Let's continue. I didn't want to do it. I did not want to do it. As you wipe your sword on the tunic of the dead creature, you see the second creature gesturing to something behind you. Wait, weren't there 3 creatures by the riverbank before? A moment later, something strikes you in the back of the head, then everything goes black. Oh man, I did not want to be here. Would they knock me out? I got captured. Oh no, and they're gonna bring me to the village. Man, it's tough outside these walls. Still halfway between sleeping and waking, you feel the presence of your spirit, the camel, close nearby. Its form has changed since you left Analand, just as you have changed, but it is still walking beside you. In the temple they taught you that a prayer to your spirit could heal disease, lift curses, even save you from certain death. A prayer now would perhaps be wise, but the spirits are not generous and decline to help often. You can ask for the spirit's aid using the pray button. Okay. What is the camel? The camel is a creature of long legs and short sight, and he walks and walks without needing to see his destination on the horizon. A camel is self-sufficient and unflappable, but he rarely turns, not even when the sands beneath him give way. A prayer to your spirit will heal you, but after a prayer, your spirit will not hear you again for some time. I mean, we could pray for healing. We're like at half health. I'd say let's give it a shot. Your spirit has heard you. You will receive no further help for some time. You are on your own. Well, I guess that was nice. Alright, now back to the capture. Let's figure out where we are. You are tied up on the floor of a hut, and you are not alone. Nearby, you hear the scuffle of many feet. We're on the floor of a hut. Let's listen. I feel like we weren't placed in the most advantageous place to be looking around. Let's hear what's going on. Keeping your eyes closed, you listen carefully. The sound is familiar enough. Elven voices. This could be trouble. Okay. I'm not going to sit up yet. I feel like that's giving too much away. Let's open our eyes. You flip open your eyes, taking care to lie still. You see your belongings lying a short distance away in the dirt. Around you patter tiny feet, and a few more feet hover a few inches in the air above the ground. Oh, that's right, they don't seem to really walk. Do we wait? And a few more feet hover a few inches in the air above the ground. Alright, let's wait. The guard, noticing you are awake, leans out of the doorway and calls sharply. Soon a small crowd is gathered around you. We are in so much trouble right now. One, evidently some kind of leader, floats over to you and plants a blow in your stomach. Oh, there's totally gonna mess us up. That is for our kinsman, he chitters. He was a fool to provoke you, but you could have scolded him. You did not need to kill him. Well, I was trying to get out of the situation. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm just gonna say I'm sorry for their loss. I'm not gonna try to turn this over so like I'm the victim, even though I kind of am. The elven chief looks at you. With a serious expression his face is clearly unaccustomed to, unaccustomed to. Perhaps you speak the truth. You have the aspect of honor. He makes a gesture to the other elven who approach. You tense, expecting blows, but instead they open your pack and begin to sift through the contents. We will take the price of our man, the chief declares. We are creatures of joy and mischief, but today we will do nothing but trade. That's fair. The chief nods once. The elven root through your things with brutal efficiency, taking what they fancy and tossing the rest back at you. Then they pick you up and carry you out of the village, leaving you in a pile on the side of the path like a sack of waste. Alright, let's just get up. I feel like I've had enough with these elves. You try to stand, but your legs are still tied. You topple to your knees. The elven, turning at the sound, laugh loudly. Almost as an afterthought, one returns with a bared knife. For a moment he holds it near your throat, then slices the bonds around your arms, and then he turns and runs off into the trees. Alright, let's get the hell out of here. You stand slowly, battered and bruised. You rub the blood back into your wrists. Then finally you look through your pack. Your provisions have been taken, and all your gold has gone. Still, there are small mercies. You still have your neck, shoulder in your pack. You start to walk once more. Okay, so we've been we're outside of the village gates where we started, and within 15 minutes we've already gotten robbed of all of our stuff. Okay. Ooh. Let's see. I want to look through the spell book. We might have been able to cast something that would have saved us. Maybe a protective force field would have helped. I gotta remember FOF. I don't think the wall would have done anything to the force field. Let's do a quick run through. This powerful spell creates a physical barrier in front of the caster, which is capable of keeping out all intruders. The resulting force field is both extremely strong and flexible. Okay, I don't think the wall would have worked. Walk, which is placed... Interesting, okay, so that's for a shield. Maybe big? Okay, so we gotta be careful using big. Looks like big can be an issue in confined spaces. It says it will increase the power of the caster and is useful against large opponents, but must be used with caution in confined spaces. Yeah, no doubt. That sounds like does not sound unreasonable. Interesting, okay. So if the zap and hot are like lightning and fire attacks, those look like they're just for attacking. When cast at a creature holding an object, such as a weapon, the spell will make the creature clumsy and uncoordinated. It will drop the object, fumble to pick it up, and drop it again. Maybe we could have used dumb? Alright, let's see what this other stuff is. Okay, DOPs to unlock doors. Raz. By rubbing the wax on any bladed weapon and casting the spell, the blade will become razor sharp. Okay, so that's some kind of like weapon fortification spell. Sus. The spell may be cast when the caster suspects a trap. Okay. 6, looks like a duplication spell. Multiple images of the caster, okay. Jig. Oh, you can create, with Gob, you can create goblins just by having their teeth. Interesting. Oh, wow, you can actually cast spells to spawn giants. Gum, How the spell is used in perilous situations when information about the safest way of escape is desired. The caster will receive a physical inclination towards one route or a means of defense if one is present. I wonder if how would have been helpful then. Doc looks like some kind of medicine potion. Okay. Let's create an illusion of treasure. Interesting. Mage. Spell protects the caster from most magic. Pop. Okay. Ah. We could have used fall. This spell is useful if the caster is caught in a pit, trap, or falls from a considerable height. When cast, it makes the caster's body as light as a feather. The caster will float down through the air and land gently on the ground. Okay, we absolutely could have taken advantage of that. Let's just go through the rest of these spells just so I have them in mind. Otherwise, I would have called that one earlier. A good defensive spell. This can be cast at any attacking creature to muddle its mind. However, it must be handled with caution as a deranged creature may act unpredictably. Fog. The spell may only be cast in a closed room. The room turns pitch. Okay. Even though... Okay, so this is probably good for trying to escape. Let's look at the ones that don't require any type of item. To demoralize an opponent. Okay, let's see. Wow. Okay. I think we're... Looks like some kind of spell may be cast upon... I mean, the wordplay is simple enough. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to remember... I don't know if I'm going to be able to remember them in the situation. It's the most formidable spell in lore, but no one knows why. In all recorded history, the spell has been cast only once, but a powerful necromancer from Throban, who was never seen again. Its effects are unknown. Necromancer's notes were found, but were crazed and unclear. Treat with extreme caution. Okay, so there's some kind of like... There is some kind of crazy lunatic spell at the end of the book. Okay. Alright. Try to keep these in mind. Alright, let's go to the bridge. We got robbed. Our stamina's in decent shape. You hurry away from the scene of your humiliation and reach the river once more, but now the path goes across it. Beyond, you can see a long, wide track with trees lining the left-hand edge and a wide field of long grass on the right. In the far distance, a curl of smoke indicates a village. The evening is beginning to draw in. It would be good to reach town before the light is gone. Let's test this bridge. I don't know why. I mean, the fact that it's giving us the option is probably telling. Before crossing, you make sure to test the guy ropes of the bridge to ensure it is sound. But it seems safe enough. Satisfied, you make your way across the boards. In the middle of the bridge, a man stops you. Halt, he declares. This is my bridge, and to cross, you must pay the toll. We have to pay the troll toll. Alright, let's just ask him how much. I mean, I don't have any gold. How much is the fare, you ask? The toll is just 1 gold piece, he says. It's very reasonable. Do we just push him aside? Let's say we have no gold. Let's just say we have no gold. You have no gold, you tell him. He pulls a face and stands up straight. Suddenly, oh, you don't? Oh, well, never mind then. Have a good day, stranger. And with that, he strides away, whistling. You head off down the bridge and back onto the path, none the wiser. You have a long way still to travel today. Okay, I have a feeling we're probably going to run into them again. Alright, let's keep going. The path continues along the side of a line of trees. Suddenly, an acorn lands on your head, and you hear it tittering from overhead. The baboon grant you strength, more elven. In the trees, hurling acorns. These elves are just absolutely messing with me. I don't think I have a spell. Cast. I like how that goes. That there is an option. What if we do? I mean, I don't think the acorns are necessarily doing damage. I could try to cast a spell to. Nah, we'll just let them go. I'm not even going to threaten. I'm just going to keep on walking. I'm just tired of these elves. Oh, did we get damage? You're pelted by more and more acorns, as well as some sticks and branches. You break into a run. Soon you're out of reach of the annoying creatures. I'm going to come back for these elves. Next time I run into an elf, they're going to catch it. Okay. The sun is now just past its zenith, and everywhere a dusty heat rises from the baked earth. You begin to think about where you will stay for the night. Another night sleeping out in the open would be best avoided. But then you see a small village set into the hill. Let's look at it. Smoke rises from the stacks. The houses are well set, with stone at their bases and thatched roofs of grasses and thick leaves. There is unusually more than just the one street running through the center of town. But it is as though this place, once rich, has had its heart scooped away. Litter surrounds the buildings, and on the edge of the village are rows and rows of empty abandoned houses. You continue your slow trudge along the path. I say we probably just enter the village. You walk into the village. Young hill dwellers pass you and stare at your strange clothes. You nod back respectfully. Let's look at the people. Their own attire is rough by comparison to your gear. They wear their hair long but piled up on their heads. These people are ghastly poor. The village is like a ghost town. Here on the knife edge of the Balklands. Let's go to the alehouse. I don't really have any coins, so I can't really rest at the inn. I think, yeah, maybe we can get a job at the tavern. Walking down the single road, you quickly find a hut with its front covering pulled wide open and the smell of brewed beer coming from inside. You go in. Several hill dwellers are here, talking gruffly. When you enter, they watch you with understandable caution. The owner of the hut comes over to you. "Welcome to Cristatante," he declares. "What do you want?" Let's greet the owner, assuming that they are the owner. "An evening rest and a drink to wet my throat," you reply. "Ale is 1 gold piece," he answers. "Please sit." You go over to the table where the hill dwellers are. Do we sit with the oldest man or we sit with the youngest man? I feel like sit with the oldest man. I feel like in a old town with a bunch of rundown people, to be old is probably a testament to something. Let's sit with the old man. You turn your attention to the oldest man at the table. Whatever face he once had is lost in a labyrinth of wrinkles, and his skin is the color of tanned hide from a lifetime in the beating sun. "Greetings, old man." He raises his mug in salute. "Stranger." His face is gravelly, like the dusty dirt that lines the street of this town. "Where are you from?" I come from Onelin. He nods. Not many as cross through the Cantapani gate in either direction, if you know what I'm saying. I understand you. He grins and picks his teeth with a fingernail. They say there is a war coming, something to do with the crown. Let's see. Did we say... We'll say that we seek the crown. Is that so? Replies the old man. Well, from what I hear, you've got a long journey to go find it. I hear the birdmen took it all the way to Mampang. Seems like this conversation is pretty straightforward. I'm just going to say you're very well informed. The man shrugs. I would be if I knew where in the Balklands Mampang was, but I don't know much outside my own town's hilltop. You sip your beer. The old man exchanges glances with the younger man sitting opposite. Let's talk to the young man. You thank him for the conversation. You catch the young man's eye. He moves over to be right beside you, close enough to whisper in your ear, but you don't quite catch what he says. Let's ask him to repeat that. The man giggles to himself, unexpectedly, leaning in again so close you can smell the fumes of his breath. He declares, Snaticats. Then he collapses in a fit of giggles once more. Whatever the joke is, you cannot see it. Let's ask him to tell me about the village. The man nods twice, then drinks deeply from his beer to wet his throat. Or perhaps not, because as he puts the mug down once more, he says nothing, just fidgets with his fingers and occasionally grins in your direction. What's wrong with you? They say there's always one, the man replies in a serious whisper. But I haven't seen him. Always one, but I never saw. How can that be? You get back to your feet. The young man giggles to himself, but does not attempt to stop you. Does not attempt to stop you. Does not attempt to stop you. Finish my beer and leave. You make to leave the inn. The owner stops you, holding out his hand. We don't have the gold coin. The only thing we can do is knock him aside. You knock him easily aside, and he staggers against the bar. You step out into the street, but the villagers of Cristanti are used to tyrants, and they do not stand for it. He strides right back out again and knocks you back yourself. Oh, I didn't want to fight him. I just don't have any gold. Let's see. This is no time to draw your sword or launch a fireball. Your fists will have to do. Okay, so now we're in a... I did not want to fight this guy. Can we cast a spell? I guess we can't cast spells right now. Oh, I look like such a jerk. I just walked into this town. I'm just gonna blog. Time you learnt you some manners, the innkeeper declares, as he launches a roundhouse punch at your head. You raise your fists to block. You have to do better, you growl. The muscles in the innkeeper's arm tighten. I really didn't want to have to do... I really did not want to have to do this. Okay, I imagine they probably don't have an incredible amount of punching power. Let's throw a light punch at him. Oh, okay. Then the brute gets the upper hand. You lurch forward, but he is stronger, and he charges with every ounce of his strength. Knocking you back, you shake your head to clear the fog. The innkeeper steps back. He's probably going in for a defensive swing. Let's go with a 1. Okay. Finally got one hit on him. Enough of this. Hurrying forward, quickly you aim to break his skull. He lifts his guard to cover himself. The innkeeper grins with pleasure at escaping unharmed. He feints left. Probably going in for a swing. Let's throw a heavy one on him. I'm gonna go for a 4. You have split his lip once, and you aim to do it again. You leap forward, grabbing with both hands, and headbutting him. He ducks quickly to one side. You swing like a blacksmith, he growls. The innkeeper dodges right. Okay, so... I don't know how much power they have. Let's see. Probably go for we'll go for a 3. Let's go for the clout. There we go. Okay. You go in for another blow. You aim a savage blow at his jaw. He steps rapidly left. You'd do better if you didn't tell me your every move with your eyes. He spits. Let's block this one. Okay. Ooh, I'm getting actually pretty beat up. You drop back, raising your fist to protect your body. Make an idiot of me in my own bar, he cries as he comes for you. You catch and throw his punches away. Are you hoping to tickle me to death? You goad. Oh man, we're just really going ham with this guy. Let's throw a 4. You set your stance. You grab him by the scruff of his neck, then knee him in the groin. Quickly, he covers himself. The innkeeper stops and spits blood onto the dusty ground. I'd have to go for another 3, probably. I don't think this dude's been thrown once heavier than that. There we go. You launch at him again. You leap forward, grabbing with both hands and headbutting him. Then you land a hit on his chin. The innkeeper spins about once and falls down on the ground, clean unconscious. 3 stamina loss. A fair fistfight. Yeah, I really do not want to fight them. The innkeeper lies down in the dirt and stays there. You dust yourself off, take a jug of ale from the bar, and drain it to refresh yourself a little. Then you nod to the crowd and leave. Time to find a place to sleep. I mean, we probably best not to sleep in this town. Probably just leave this town and go sleep outside, honestly. I feel like these people would probably kill me when I'm sleeping. Let's see what the sign of the whale does. A slow, careful creature of great wisdom and deep honor. The whale moves through deep, dark places, but leaves barely a ripple on the surface. I don't know if that's gonna help us with sleeping, but maybe let's sleep outside. Sleep outside unless I decided I don't want to. If I want to wake up dead in the morning. They hate me. The cover of the forest is dark, and the ground is thick with fallen branches, mud, and briar. You walk for nearly an hour more, and then you pass a large tree atop a great fist of curling roots. It is a perfect spot to sleep. You have nothing left to eat. You settle down to sleep. It will not be an uninterrupted night, out here under the stars, surrounded by beasts, but you will still feel a little better for it. Your last thoughts are of food. You have not eaten today, but you cannot march forever on an empty stomach, or you will achieve nothing but feeding the wolves. Oof, that's rough. Your dreams are vivid. You feel yourself tied up, surrounded by laughing faces. Thin creatures with long fingers are picking at your pockets and the stitching of your clothing. You feel magic boiling inside you, but it cannot be released. Meanwhile, the food in your bag is rotting, wet through from the sweat of your back, and in the distance a deep voice is booming with laughter. The long, cruel fingers of one hand are curled around the metal frame of a crown, and with the other he beckons you forward, as if into a trap. Okay. We have to get some coin. I feel like we're kind of in a tough situation right here. Alright, let's go beyond Kristatanti. You wake early and sit for a moment, in no great hurry to leave this place where you have lingered so long. This is now the 3rd day of your journey, and the muscles in your legs are feeling lean and strong from so much walking. You spend a short while enjoying the peace, then unhurriedly you collect your possessions and set off along the path. Kristatante is surrounded by several miles of fields. It sits in a well-protected ring of hills and is close enough to the river to be reasonably prosperous. As you follow the path between lines of sun-baked crops, you come to a fork in the road. The right-hand way leads past a set of outbuildings, while the left heads directly off into deep woodland. That's interesting. So, This looks like some kind of, it's got more villages. There is an abandoned mine. Some kind of large bridge out here. Okay. I'm trying to think if we go left or we go right. It looks like this curls back into kind of the general direction that we're going, but... Oh, it's ruined. This just looks like a town that's been totally desecrated. Maybe, if we go north, or if we go take the right path, we'll probably miss an opportunity to go to this Madiki forest. I'm trying to figure out what this is. Looks like some kind of large encampment. Maybe, seems like either way that we go, there seems to be like a one kind of optional choice, but they all lead to this place called Dumpus. Maybe we go left. I kind of want to go into this forest. Let's enter the woods. We already spent the night there. Your journey is too important to slow down by talking to locals. You must pass unseen, and so you disappear into the jungle of tall trees. For a short while, the sun is feverish, and then you are between the trees once more, and everything becomes cool and still. You walk for several hours uneventfully. This is land that was never settled or explored, and very few travel this way. In places, bushes and shrubs have grown over into the path. Let's move cautiously. You pick your way carefully forward, moving slowly but silently between the trees. If there are any beasts nearby, you should be able to wring their necks without them hearing you approach. Then you come to a fork in the road, still deep in the forest. Alright, let's go to the fork. Someone has thought to make a sign, perhaps as a guide, or perhaps as a warning. The way to the right is marked as Dumpfes. A left turn points to Aliana. Neither way seems the better trod. You'll have to choose. I kind of wanted to see what this was. Because we're probably going to end up going up this way anyway. So, let's go down here. Let's check out Aliana. The path winds between trees that get greener and more lush. You must be closer to the river here, although you cannot hear the water. After about half an hour's walk through dappled shade, you come across a well-built hut. Flowers decorate its walls, and the door has been painted with ornate designs. The path ends here. Oh, let's just knock on the door. I don't want to be caught creeping around someone's yard. You approach the door and knock. There is no reply. Alright, let's scout around. You perform a swift circuit around the hut, but find nothing unusual or concerning. It seems to be what it is, a hut set by itself deep in the forest. But for someone to survive out here on their own, surrounded by the beasts of the jungle, they must be someone quite powerful. I kind of want to open the door. I feel like I came all this way. I feel like turning back is just not a good idea. I'm going to regret this. I'm going to regret this. Let's open the door. It's not a good idea. We got to open the door. It's not a good idea. You push open the door and stride inside. Oh, God. Stride inside. Stride inside. I like that. The hut is neatly laid out. You detect the touch of a fastidious woman. Chairs are set around a table as if for guests. Oh God, I'm going to tell this situation is probably so bad. A mattress lies in one corner, and a large kitchen area indicates that whoever lives here, they're fond of cooking. Probably cooking up travelers. I don't want to steal from them, but I kind of want to see them. I'm probably gonna die in this house. Let's call out. Oh, there's probably a witch. This is probably some kind of evil witch. That's why they put the sign. Hello, is there anybody here? To your surprise, a voice answers quickly. Who's there? Who's that? Oh, God, okay. Locate the speaker. Looking into a corner, hidden by a large cupboard, you see a cage in which a young woman is imprisoned. I knew that this was. I absolutely knew that there is trouble going on in this house. Good stranger, she pleads. Let me out of this cage, I beg you. Get her out. What happened to you? I'm sure you were there for a reason. What happened to you? You move over to the cage, quite shocked. What happened to you? Oh, good stranger, she wails. I have been locked up here for 2 days. It was Elvins that did it. Those mischievous, prankful Elvins. Please, you must help me. I have not eaten, and they left me here, where I can see all my cooking things, but cannot reach them. This is already. I can already tell this is going to be. This is trouble. Everything written on this is just trouble. I'm going to help him. But it's probably a reason why they're locked up. It's probably a werewolf or something. Oh God. Everything about this house has just been, is just got, I got red flags going up everywhere. I'll help you. Going over to the cage, you try the door. It is locked, of course. What was the spell for opening locks? I think it was DOF. Oh, DOP. Sounds like a metal band. Alright, use magic. You declare, stand back and you declare as you roll up your sleeves. Alright, DOP. About to go into the magic zone. Heard you were gonna cast a spell. Open locks and doors. Requires 1 stamina. You cast a spell over the lock and it begins to shiver. Like a small beetle, it hums and clicks as the tumblers turn and work. I'm just gonna say I read the first sentence, but I can already see there is 2 options here that is troubling. Then finally it snaps open and drops to the floor. The woman claps her hands in delight, and with the door open, she rushes out and throws her arms around you, before backing off a pace and trying to regain her composure. Stranger, she declares, I am in your debt. Aliana will reward you. Will you take an aid in combat? Will you take an aid in combat or mastery of magic? Will you take an aid in combat or mastery of magic? Will you take an aid in combat or mastery of magic? Let's take aid in combat. Combat. Very good. She lifts the hem of her dress and removes a bracelet from around her ankle. This is Ragnarista's armband of sword mastery, she declares. Wear it, and it will bring great skill to you, to your sword arm, with my blessing. I mean, let's take it. With a nod, you accept the armband and place it on your right arm. The effect is immediate. You feel your muscles strengthening and growing powerful. The lady has been freed. Seems like there's nothing much more to keep you here and from your quest. What's asked to be fed? I feel like we probably haven't eaten for a minute. Perhaps before I go, you begin. I may eat with you if you can feed me. I have not had anything yet today. I have nothing, she replies, with sad shrug. The elven who locked me up took everything. Then I will be gone. You nod curtly. She nods. Of course, please, before you go. And she holds something out. It is a small bag of gold coins. I feel like we kind of need gold coins right now. I feel like we kind of need gold coins. I should probably just take it. Oh fuck. Oh god, I knew this was trouble. You bow your head and accept the gift. There are 7 gold pieces inside. Why? And one more thing she says. You must understand, Aliana does not give gifts to those who are not worthy. and any worthy woman is capable of dying. Suddenly, before your eyes, two transformations are taking place. The first is one of the chairs, which begins to crack and creak, standing and stretching until it has formed into a violent wood golem, advancing with fibrous claws outstretched. The second is Aliana's face. Gone is her peaceful calm, and in its place is the cackling madness of a witch. I knew this was going to be. I knew this was going to be a witch. Ah! Oh my god. Okay. Oh. Let's see. Fight the golem. I feel like it's a golem made of wood. Maybe we cast a spell. Hold on. Let's look at the spell book. I screwed myself. I knew this was trouble. I knew this was trouble. Let's see, do we do a shield? Maybe, I think hot. Spell creates a fireball which can be thrown by the caster towards a target. The fireball will cause severe burns on impact, but will then quickly extinguish. Let me see, maybe there's... The casting of the spell creates an invisible wall in front of the caster, as well as impervious to all missiles, creatures, or other material objects, since it is a very useful defensive spell. I'm trying to wonder if there's maybe we'll use walk. I don't want to use big because we're inside of a house. Let's see. Spell. Recent erections, but okay. Maybe toes? I mean, assuming we're gonna have to fight it. Oh, okay, this is crazy. I feel like in this situation, there's so many options, spell options. Sorry, it said that it's a chaos spell. So do we either cast? I feel like I want to cast a fireball, but my stamina is so low. We only have like 3 health. Maybe we do. Maybe we do walk because we have gold coins. I mean, I don't know if that would... Okay, walk. The spell requires a gold coin, which is placed on the caster's wrist. When the spell is cast, it will transform into an invisible metal shield, but the coin will be lost. It's either between the wall. I feel like the wall is probably a good way to just get out. Oh boy. The fact that my stamina is so low, doesn't help. Oof. Maybe we do walk. Let's cast a spell. Fight the golem. How big is this thing again? This is a golem. To a violent wood golem. Alright. It doesn't look that big. Let's do, let's do walk. Maybe it'll up our defense. I don't know how we're going to survive this. Okay. Oh, is there no W in here? Oh, no. No. We are not ready for that. Dang. Maybe... Hold on. Let's go with, let's see. Man, these take so much stamina. The thing is, if I use them, I just can't. Say we'd go with hot. Let's go with hot. We're just gonna try to blow them away. See, I didn't see any H's. Oh. Yeah, let's smoke them. Yeah, do it. You hold up your hand and cast the spell. A small burning fireball materializes in your palm, and you fling it across the room at the wood golem. The creature catches the light immediately and shrieks in pain. Aliana rushes off to find water to douse the fire before her house goes up. Well, you make a hasty exit. Okay, good, so we were able to get out. You retrace your steps to the last junction, where you turn to take the path to Dumfus. I knew this house was trouble. I knew the house was trouble. And just everything about this house was just bad news. Just cut through the woods too, didn't even take the path. The path winds a few more times around gigantic trees, thousands of years old, and then emerges onto a sudden plain, as if the forest had been scooped away by a gigantic hand. A river trickles thinly between short grasses, and by its banks stands a tiny village. Let's get into this village and try and buy some food and heal up. Today has been punishing, but with a decent meal and a night's sleep, your next day will start auspiciously. So you begin the gentle climb down into the village. You follow the path down into the village, passing a sign which declares it to be Dumfus. The streets are thin and narrow, and the buildings have been set close together, as if trying to withstand a storm. There's a terrible smell hanging in the air. All in all, it seems an unpleasant place, but nothing changes the fact you desperately need shelter and rest. Your day has been punishing, and you're almost too weak to stand. Yeah. Let's find an inn. I think we've got enough coin. Or actually, let's explore the village. Let's explore the town. Maybe we'll find some food. Halfway along the track, you come across a couple of merchants' huts. You browse for items worth buying with your 7 gold pieces. Your attention is taken by a finely woven skull cap, a finely crafted sword, and a small bag of provisions. How much are the provisions? You examine the bag of food. There's about enough to last 3 days. 6 gold pieces, the merchant says with a smile. Good for a traveler, I'm sure. 6 gold pieces. But we still need to find a... We still need to be able to sleep somewhere. Let's not buy them. You return the bag to the merchant's table. 6 gold pieces is too much, you explain, despite the hard rumbling in your belly. Okay. You nod to the merchant. The merchant smiles. Is there anything else I can help you with? Let's ask him if there's some place we can go sleep. He points you down a side road that leads to an inn. You thank him. Okay. Let's go to the inn. Following the merchant's instructions, you quickly find an inn in the very center of Dumfus. It's a tumble-down building with mats spread across the floor and a kitchen range that fills the air with an appealing, spicy smell. The man who runs the inn is wiry and looks as if he does not eat a thing himself. 3 gold pieces for a hillfox broth, he tells you, and 3 for a place to rest your head. The very mention of food is enough to set your stomach grumbling. Yeah, let's do it. You pay 3 gold pieces, and the man shows you to a mattress in one corner of the room. Your last thoughts are of your empty belly and the weariness that tomorrow will bring. You dream strange dreams as you sleep. Your thoughts are dominated by the strange woman in the hut. In your mind, she has become younger than she truly was. Flowers seem to blossom from her hair as though she was grown from the earth herself. Overhead, you fancy you hear the flap of giant wings. The birdmen came for the crown. Perhaps before this journey is finished, they will come for you. I thought I'd be able to buy some food. Alright, let's see if we can swing into this next town and grab some food. Because I'm I'm running out of health here. You rise early, thank the innkeeper, and head out into the street. Within a few minutes of walking, you're out of Dumfist and back on the road. After another hour or so, the way branches, with one path heading up into the hills, and the other turning downhill and along one side of a barren stony ridge. Is that a village you can make out on top of the hill? It seems a lonely place for it. Yeah, let's definitely go uphill. I feel like we need to find a place to get some food. The gentle upward slope becomes a steep climb, and you are forced to rest several times. So far you have been walking through the foothills. Now the journey will become more serious. When finally you reach the summit and can look out over the low plateau you have crested, you see the path runs through a small settlement of crudely fashioned huts. There are villagers out in the street talking and working. It seems a happy, bustling place. Well, this image doesn't necessarily depict that. Let's just approach. There seems no obvious danger. You approach along the path until you're close enough for the villagers to notice you. The effect is immediate. They begin to scurry inside their huts, as if you were an army and not a lone traveler. You cannot help but notice what a sorry bunch they are, squat and short, and all limping strangely. Their bodies are thin and malnourished, and as they disappear through their doors, you notice some are missing limbs. Oh, it looks as if some, I don't know. This place looks crazy. Let's stop at a door and knock. You knock on the door. You knock on the door of one of the nearest huts. There is no reply. Let's go to another hut. You approach the next hut. From inside, you hear the murmur. From inside, you hear the murmur of voices. So you enter. The hovel is tiny and poor, with no furnishing of any kind. A small fire burns in the middle of the floor, and by the far wall, a family of 3 cowers from you. The woman lifts a shaking hand, as if to hold you back. Let's hold out a hand of friendship. You put out your hand to greet the man. He shuffles over nervously and grasps it with feeble strength. Are you magical, stranger? Are you not afraid of us? Oh no. He probably has some kind of... oh god. Afraid? Why? Why? He replies, don't you know, we have the plague in this village. You spring back from him, but it's too late. You can feel the infection on the palm of your hand like a curse. Let's ask him if there's a cure. The man shakes his head sadly. Some say to drink the juice of the blimberry, but we have all tried, so much that no berries grow around the village any longer, and we are still alive, I suppose. We were not well. You take another step back, in fear and regret. You have but a few days. Oh my god. What magic could we use? I knew I got myself into trouble. Oof. How? What's asked them? I feel like there's definitely some kind of spell, but I don't think the, I don't think there's any, I don't have the item. Let's see. Spell enabled to cast a little way into the future. I mean, we're already smoked, so... let's see. I think we're in trouble. We've been in trouble ever since we walked out of the gate. I don't know, man. I don't know any spells. got nothing. Let's leave them. Fear overtakes you and you race out of the door. and do not stop running until you are clear of the accursed village. Oh god. Oh no. The path beyond the village heads downhill once more between thick trees, before turning into a narrow goat track that crosses a rough peak. From the summit, you get a wide view. Just look around. Ahead down a steep slope, the next village is sprawled out before you. And even from here, you can catch the sound of merry voices and shouting from the streets. It must be a carnival. Looking right, you hear a roaring noise and can just make out a beautiful, majestic waterfall plunging from a cliff into a great rock bowl. You watch for a few minutes, marveling at how clear the water seems. Then it is time to move on. You are feeling cold. Purple blotches are breaking out on the back of your hands. Let's pray for healing. I feel like we might have an opportunity. Your spirit has heard you. You will receive no further help for some time. Okay. So we got a little bit of healing. Let's walk on. You follow the track down a steep decline. Man, we got ourselves into some trouble. Every turn is nothing but bad choices. Some way down the hill, you stop for a rest and sit on a boulder to survey what lies ahead. The path leads downwards, and at its foot, cradled between three peaks, is a village. And quite a large one at that, compared to that mournful spot you have just passed through. Behind you, the sun is falling rapidly into the hills. It will be night soon. Let's approach the village. Your heart swells. A village might mean a chance to restock on provisions. You hop down from the boulder and make your way forward, when an overhanging branch touches your face, and you hear a lively chirping. Let's freeze. You freeze. Hovering by your shoulder is a small creature, the size of a bird. It is childlike but very thin, with green skin, and it flits around you on transparent wings. It seems friendly enough. It even lands on your shoulder, its tiny clawed toes pinching slightly. Let's try to talk to it. I feel like at this point, there's not much else we can do. Greetings, little creature, and hello to you. The creature replies, chirping. My name is John. Let's ask him, what do you want with me? See that village? The creature replies. Last time I tried to go through, they told me I wasn't welcome, so I wouldn't mind some protection. And let's protect them. Yeah, let's protect him. The creature squeezes your shoulder gently. It's like having a spider trying to burrow into your skin. The creature starts hopping up and down. Come on, it grumbles impatiently. Let's get going, can't we? Let's ask him what they are. The creature does a backflip and gives you a low bow. I'm a Minimite. Pleased to meet you. It reaches out a tiny hand and shakes your earlobe. We should probably warn this thing where we're going could be dangerous. Let's ask them what they know about the village. That's Biratanti, and it's very safe. It's the largest village in the whole of the Shimatanti Hills. Every traveler who comes this way spends at least one night here. So it's a little bit expensive, especially for Minimites, but pleasant enough. The creature flits to your other shoulder once more. You're not in any hurry, are you? It observes. Do you want to sleep out in the rough? Let's get going then. The creature shakes you by the ear in excitement, and you set off along the path once more. You descend into the bowl of the valley. The hills on either side are toweringly tall and throw the village into deep shadow. It would seem a very gloomy, threatening place, but from the streets come the distant sound of laughter and merriment. Yeah, it's totally entered the town. I still need to buy some food. You continue along the path. The sounds of festivities grow louder. It's almost spooky here in the shade of the valley, and after so long on the dire road, the people in this village seem to be enjoying themselves. See, the Minimite on your shoulder remarks. I told you it was a happy place. John, what's going on? Are they bewitched? John shakes her head. No, if there was magic, believe me, I'd know. This is a festival of the young. Let's enter the festival. You pass the first few buildings, where you find a number of children sitting in the street and drinking ale from deep mugs. Further on, a young boy is holding an old woman over his knee and is spanking her. On the other side of the street, a group of boys is fighting outside a hut with a sign that reads, Glandragger's Tavern. It's all complete mayhem. I guess let's try to maybe rescue the old woman? No. Let's try to rescue the old woman. You stride over to the boy, intending to rescue the woman, but at the sight of your manner and sword, the boy puts her down and gets to his feet. And what are you about? He demands. I'm the leader of this village for today, and I say, get to bed. Strike the child. Oh, we're in so much trouble. Strike the child. You reach out and smack the impertinent boy across his cheek with the back of your hand. Oh my god. The blow is not hard, but he still falls backwards into the mud. He is quite clearly enraged and lets up a hollering cry. Suddenly, there are 100 children around you, and not all beggars, but well-fed and armed with sticks and pitchforks. Jan is making a hissing noise in your ear. Better run for it. Yeah, let's run. Swallowing your pride, you turn and race out of the village. The children follow, standing by the gates and waving their impromptu weapons. Well, Jan sniffs. You're quite the warrior, aren't you? I just need food. That's why I've been doing all this, just because I need to buy some provisions. You make your way out of the village and into a stand of tall, dry trees, under the overhang of one of the cruel mountainsides. Between the curling roots, you find a small place to settle down to rest. Jan perches a little way above on a knot and is quickly asleep. You are tired enough to follow suit, but you are hungry from not having eaten. I just gotta settle down for the night. I think I'm dead. You rest your head onto your backpack and close your eyes. Perhaps a few hours pass when you wake suddenly, aware of a shadow moving between the tree trunks. It turns as it sniffs the air. It's a wolfhound. Oh god. A wolfhound? Okay, here we go. I feel like, let's see what our spirit animal is. Strong, social, and intelligent, the baboon will shy from danger, preferring to live in the safety of the trees rather than risk exposure on the ground. Let's see. A wolfhound. So it's some kind of wolf. I bet if we fight it and win, we can probably get some food. Let's fight the beast. Okay. You draw your sword, the long metal flashing in the moonlight. The beast roars and howls. Alright, maybe on the first one we'll defend, because I feel like it's probably going to go for an attack. Which it does. The wolfhound creeps towards you, jaws dripping and fur shining wet. You raise your sword to defend yourself, fearing the monster will spring. It bounds forward. You are shaken but unharmed. It howls and whimpers. Okay, that was a pretty strong attack. Let's go for a 4. Okay. You turn your sword around for a vicious blow. The wolfhound drops back. It scrapes at the ground as if digging its own grave. Alright, we're defending on this one for sure. Oh, we both defended. The wolfhound circles around you, snapping at the air. You wait, eyes fixed on the beast. I feel like it's definitely probably going for a swing. Let's defend. No, it's a standoff. You stay crouched and on the defensive. The wolfhound holds back, pawing at the earth. Let's go for a big one. Let's go for a 5. Oh, we just made the cut on him. The wolfhound crouches low, then springs for your throat. You hurry backwards, stumble, then roll away as the creature lands deep onto the blade of your sword. Whoa, that's cool. The wolf howls with rage and fury. As the wolfhound grows weaker, its snarl gets madder. That was a pretty big attack by the wolfhound. Let's go for another 5. You twist your sword around for a wild attack, but the wolfhound turns tail. The wolfhound is crawling now, its fur thick with dried blood. It is tensing, preparing to pounce. We're going to defend on this one for sure. Ooh, 5.1, that was big. The wolfhound runs for your throat. You react on instinct, dodging around a tree for cover. All right, we're going for the full swing this time. We're going for a 6.8. You put all your strength into a swing of your sword, hoping to finish the creature in a stroke. The blow connects. As the wolfhound weakly opens its jaw to bite, you plunge your blade between its teeth and all the way down to its heart. Oof. The wolfhound howls, a gurgling, blood-soaked sound, and then it dies. 2 stamina lost, competent combat. That's crazy. The beast defeated, you pause to regain your breath and wipe your sword. Whoa, I mean, there's some food right there. Then, once satisfied, you lay down again and try to sleep. Jan flutters down and resettles on your shoulder. Your dreams are full of plague victims, their faces raw with boils and streaming sores. The rest of the night passes silently. Man. Let's see if, still trying to get some food. Alright, let's walk beyond this crazy village. You rise early from your spot beneath the tree. As you gather your things, Jan leaps up and onto your shoulder. Ready to go, he chirps. You rejoin the path on the far side of Biratanti. The sun sits on the horizon like a gleaming jewel. If all goes well, you will reach Torapani today, the last village in the Shamatanti hills. After a short climb, the path breaks, heading uphill to the left and downhill to the right. Let's ask Jan for advice. To the right is a forest. To the left the going is easier. The path heads through a field of black flowers to Torapani. Let's ask him what else they know. Nothing, protests the creature, and that's a fine way to talk to your guide. I'm not charging you for my advice, you know. You'll get no more from the creature. Time to decide. So it seems like the left-hand path is easier. But we have to go through a forest, and there's some kind of house here. I say we go right. We go right, you decide. Then be on your guard, Jan warns you. You climb a rise. The way is not too steep, and as noon approaches, you have crested the ridge and are descending yet again. You are now at the highest point of the hills, where the trees are thin. The view west goes on forever, and sometimes you catch glimpses of Kar on the northern horizon. With nothing to eat, you keep on walking into the early afternoon. Jan is in a talkative mood and fills the air around you with his chatter about what he can see and how things smell, and what he plans to do once he makes his fortune in Kar. You pass from the open hillside into a patch of deep forest. Quite suddenly, Jan falls quiet and hisses in your ear. Stop now. Let's ask him why. Because, insists the creature in a tiny voice, because something is following us. You come to a dead stop. Jan is right. Something is moving through the trees behind you. A moment later, a point of steel has emerged from the darkness between 2 trees and touches your neck. You've seen me, whispers a voice. I know it. Let's answer. I see nothing, you call back. You are quite safe. It is not I who is not safe, returns the voice. Let's ask him who's there. Ooh. There is no reply, but the tall, dark figure of an assassin emerges from the trees. He is dressed head to toe in black, and you had not seen him a moment before, even though he had been standing a mere arm's length away. He wields a sharp scimitar in expert hands. Oh, goodness. Someone's got to drop some bread or something. We're going to have to fight him. Let's see if maybe we cast a spell. I'm trying to think which spell we cast. Maybe, I kind of want to try walk. Let's see if it gives us the option to do it. If it gives us a W, we can do it. Yeah, let's do it here. Burn one of these gold coins, but it only requires 1 stamina. Oh, you cast the spell and it drains energy from you, but nothing happens. Strange. Damn. Okay, it didn't burn one of the coins. Did I cast the right spell? Let's find out. Okay, I thought this was some kind of shield, but maybe the shield is probably FOF. Let's see. Maybe 6 would be interesting when fighting the assassin. The spell is cast onto the caster's own body, and it creates multiple images of the caster, all capable of casting spells and attacking. Each will perform identical actions, and most creatures will be unable to tell which is the real figure. Let's try 6. I feel like we gotta do some kind of crazy spell stuff. This assassin's probably just standing here going like, what are they doing? Let's see if it gives us an S. Oh, is this an S here? No, it's an F. Maybe we can't use it right now. Let's just fight him. Let's fight him. Yeah, the assassin. This assassin is jacked. You bring your sword up to bear. Okay. We're gonna defend on the first swing for sure. Oh, they do too. The assassin bows to you, raises his curved sword in salute, and readies his stance. You drop into a defensive crouch immediately. The assassin is perhaps the most fearsome opponent you have so far encountered. He covers himself as well. Alright, let's see if we can go for let's go for like a 4. A side swipe. Okay, you time to attack. You swing your sword fast in towards his chest, but the impact clings against his turned sword. He grins. He is left breathless but otherwise unharmed. The assassin spins his sword about to shift the sword across his body. Alright, we're defending on this next blow. Okay. You drop yourself into a crouch. His light blow sails over your head, moving with the deadly speed of a attacking serpent. You are mostly unharmed. That was a 2.2. That's pretty light. He may not be going for super heavy swings. Let's go for a 3. A side swipe. Alright, we're breaking him down a little bit. Acting quickly, you sting with your blade, low and fast, saving your energy. But the blow jumps back off the hilt. But the blow jumps back off the hilt of his blade. He grimaces with effort. He is bruised but not seriously hurt. Alright, we're slowly breaking him down. I feel like I'm gonna go for probably gonna go for a 4 this time. The trees watch as the battle unfolds. Relentlessly, you cut and thrust, keeping him pinned. You slash violently across his chest, but the impact clings against his weapon. He smiles. Closing his eyes, the assassin murmurs a quick prayer as he sets his stance. Or he's definitely going for an attack. Let's defend on this one. You whip up your defenses as he powers forward, but it only tires him out. You are mostly unharmed. The assassin laughs appreciatively. Man, this assassin is it's crazy. A 4.8 was pretty big. Let's go with like a 3.5. Leaping into action, you twist and lower your sword quickly, but the blow jumps back off his raised weapon. He grins. He's battered, but ready to come back stronger. My duty is to sever your head from your neck, the assassin tells you, in a voice as cold as polished marble. You will not hold me from it. I don't know about that, but let's go with the defense. We're defending. Okay, they did a 4. You ready yourself to block as he tries a deep slice, but you roll out of the way, mostly unhurt. He nods to you wisely. You will die out here, the assassin says, his tone like ice. I don't know if I'm gonna die, my friend. Let's go for a 3. Oof. Okay. Ow. In the next moment, he is on you in a flash. Your own stroke is overpowered. His own blow is measured, but enough to knock you reeling. You are weakening. This fight is becoming serious. Yeah, no doubt. I say we go ham on this next one. Let's go for a 5. Let's go for a cut. Fainting left, you cleave your blade mercilessly across his back, but the impact clangs against his turned sword. He grimaces with effort. Blood drips from the assassin's tunic. He curses under his breath. I can guarantee you a simple death, the assassin declares. His eyes are merciless. I don't know if I'm going to be the one that dies here, bud. I think you've met your match. I might defend on this one. Okay, I need a little more attack power. You duck down into a low stance as he attempts a heavy cut, but you duck mostly unharmed. He raises one hand to draw a finger in a line across his throat. The assassin swivels his grip. The weapon sings as it moves. Okay, looks like he's probably going in for another attack. Let's go for full Monty here. We're gonna go for a 6. Time to attack. You rush forward with a deep, heavy slash, but the blow you land is only minor because the assassin has adjusted his stance swiftly. The assassin's breath is coming in short gasps. He closes his eyes for a moment to steady himself. Your blood will paint the earth, he informs you. His eyes are merciless. He's probably going to go for an attack. I'm going to defend. Oh yeah. I'm going to defend, but I'm going full power on this next attack. You raise your defenses as he issues a roundhouse incision, but you dive to one side, mostly unhurt. You are almost without strength. The assassin flicks the blade through the air, crouching as he moves. Alright, we're going for the full 7. Oof. Acting quickly, you swing a masterful swipe. He is off balance and moving slowly, and the blade goes deep. He turns and stumbles, releasing his sword as he topples. I am not so proud as to not admit when I am beaten, he groans. You may finish me if you so choose, but if you do, do me an honor and use my own blade. Man, we got messed up. The assassin is not dead, but lies on the floor gasping. I feel like I don't know if sparing him would resolve anything. I mean, I feel like the assassin, if sparing the assassin could finishing him and searching his body is going to reveal probably like a letter or something from where they came from. You know, maybe I can get some items or gold. I'm going to spare them. I want to see what that leads to. I feel like maybe they can divulge some information, but spare them. Then get up, you tell him, holding your sword back, but not putting it away yet. He nods and sheaths his own blade. You are a worthy victor. I'm glad to meet you. Now you have saved me. You owe me, in part. My name is Flanker, and I am an assassin and a thief. What will you give me for your life? I'm going to ask him why they attacked me. It is a simple matter. I pick on wayfarers for practice in hiding and in killing. I assumed you would be no match, especially when I saw your pet. He points briefly at the Minimite, who is currently hiding under a fold in your tunic, but I see I was wrong. He bows his head once, perhaps in respect, perhaps from the pain of his injuries. You are traveling to Kar, he asks. We'll say probably, yeah, I am. I go that way as well. I will not travel with you, but once you are there, perhaps I will see you. If so, I will not forget the debt that I owe you. He is useless. Finish him. I'll remember you there. He bows his head again. This time, it is definitely from pain. Go, he hisses. You cannot aid me. I don't think I can. I don't think I have anything to help them. You know, my stamina is already so low, I can't. Let's see if we can help them. No, you reply. I have caused your wounds. I will help you. He grins with gritted teeth. Are you a doctor? I do not think you are. Let's bind his wounds. Tearing strips of dark fabric from his clothing, you bind his wounds tightly and the bleeding lessens. You are too kind to a man who is about to kill you, he murmurs. Let that be your lesson, you reply, as you gather up your things and head out of the forest, leaving him behind. You have a sense that you have made a powerful friend. I can't survive another attack, that's for sure. How much longer do you think we'll be traveling today? The Mennonite on your shoulder asks. I'm hungry and tired. We've gone such a long way. Let's go not much further. The Mennonite sighs and slumps onto your shoulder. You continue along the path and around the side of a hill. A wooden hut is set into the slope, with an old woman sitting on the front step. A river seems to emerge from beneath her. As you get closer, you realize the water flows underneath her house, and the house itself is set on splayed struts like an insect, straddling the water course. A few paces from the front of the house, the water plunges over the edge of a sheer cliff and disappears. Let's just greet the woman. I feel like I need to eat something. Greetings, you call. The woman looks up at you and smiles. Come over here, won't you? She calls. I can barely see you. If it's another witch, I'm fucking dead. You approach the old woman. She smiles a toothless smile and gets up from the step. Come in, please, she beckons. I get so lonely living out here on my own, away from the villages. I'm going inside. If I can get some food, I'll eat. You follow her inside and take a seat by a long wooden table. I'll bring us some tea, she says. She sounds almost nervous. Hurrying to her kitchen, she returns with 2 large cups. Watch it, Jan. Watch it, Jan whispers in your ear. I don't trust this one. I'm drinking it. I'm drinking the tea. I do not care. You make to sip your tea when the old woman stops you, catching your arm before the cup reaches your lips. Oh, she says suddenly. I've forgotten the pot. She goes back to the kitchen to fetch it. Okay. You make to sip your tea when the old woman stops you, catching your arm before the cup reaches your lips. Oh, she says suddenly. I've forgotten the pot. She goes back to the kitchen to fetch it. I feel like... I mean, I've already ran into one witch. Unless, like, every house that is run by, like, an older woman happens to just be a witch. I'm hoping that it's legitimate. Let's just drink the tea. Let's drink the tea. You lift your mug, blow away the steam, and take a sip as the old lady returns. The old lady lifts her own mug and takes a deep gulp. Your own tea is gently refreshing. Then she splutters and coughs and grips her side. Oh. Let's help her? Something wrong? Oh, no, she replies, trying to smile, but clearly doubled up in pain, stumbling and almost following. She staggers to her kitchen and gulps down another drink. When she returns, she seems much better again. I'm not as young as I was, she explains. All the same, she pushes her tea to one side. But tell me about you, traveler. Tell me about you. You're a traveler, question. So, what just happened? She lifted her own mug and takes a gulp. But she... What else was she drinking? Trying to smile, but clearly doubled up in pain. Stumbling, she staggers to her kitchen and gulps down another drink. Was it some kind of poison? I'm gonna say that I am a traveler. Yes, that's right. I'm going to Car. She claps her hands. That's someone starts clapping their hands, I'm gonna start thinking there's some kind of witch. How wonderful, such a delightful city. Indeed, you answer. Tell me, on your journey, you didn't happen to come across an old man, did you? I mean, I did see an old man in that one village. Not just any old man, she insists. This one was carrying a page from a spell book. We'd shake our head. No, I met no one like that. Really? That's a pity. She seems to think for a moment, then adds, But do you have anything of a magical nature? I'm gonna say I do. Yes, a few things. But no spellbook pages? Ask about the pages she wants. What are the pages you are looking for? Oh, she shrugs, suddenly seeming very old. It's part of a spell of pest repulsion I once had, but I lost. It was very useful around here. She waves you away without interest. Go on, go away. You step back onto the path. Jan lets out a long sigh of relief. You know she was one of the most powerful sorcerers in the hills, he whispers. I could smell it on her. You're lucky you got away alive. You shrug. A harmless old lady, or so she seemed. Yeah, it's like everyone everyone who's living in a house by themselves, it has to just be like packing heat, because there's no way you can survive outside of a village without being some kind of crazy mage, I guess. It is now late afternoon. You pass over the brow of the next hill, and below you is the village of Torapani, slung from one side of the village to the next like a flood barrier. Slung from one side of the valley to the next like a flood barrier. Okay, let's approach it. I'm just going straight in. I don't care. Still, there is no way around it. You have to go through. Let's go into the village. I'm still looking for something to eat. I've been traveling for like 4 days. I haven't eaten anything. You enter the village. There is a definite air of depression hanging over the place. The Sivins are going about their business slowly and miserably, and pay you no heed. You sit yourself down on a tree stump in the very center of the village to consider your options. Let's make contact with the villagers first. You spy a group of Sivins sitting outside a low hut, and you walk over and sit yourself down. They are discussing a friend apparently killed in the night by an assassin's curved blade. Is that why you are afraid? I met this assassin. I met this assassin, you remark, nervously interrupting, out in the forest. You met him. You still alive, when Sivin replies thickly. I'm going to say I killed him. I spared him. I'm going to say I killed him. Even though, I mean, I'm lying, but I did defeat him. I'm going to get myself in trouble, I swear. I killed him. I killed him, you lie. The Sivin spits a gob of green goop onto the ground. You do good, but you one day late for us. Another Sivin bangs his hand down on the table. But with Esh dead, who saved Tia? Who is Tia? Our flower. The Sivin who answers wipes a tear from the corner of his eye, scratching himself painfully with an uncut fingernail. Tia's chief's daughter. The other Sivin says, Esh was to save her. Now Esh not alive, so Tia soon not alive. Oh, okay. Let's ask what happened to her. Goblins. They sacrifice. Sacrifice. He is unsure of the word, so mimes a gesture like a stabbing downwards knife blade. Yes, sacrifice to great cave demon. Okay, let's go do it. Let's go save him. Trouble is, another says, our village die of chief line end. Tia's end. So if end ends, we end. All very sad. Very sad, they all agree. Who are you? One asks suddenly, as if only just thinking of it. He prods you in the chest. I'm going to say I'm a warrior. Warrior, a sudden gleam enters the biggest one's eyes. Great warrior? I'm gonna say I'm the greatest warrior. Best is good, Best is good. Meke, Tifa, he signals to the others, who are quickly on their feet. Big hefty arms swinging for you. We take to Chief. Before you can resist, they have you and are hauling you bodily onto their shoulders. Jan clings onto your shoulder, refusing to be shaken free. Wait to see what happens. Can we pray to the spirit for aid? I definitely need to pray for some healing. Okay. Very good. Let's wait to see what happens. You hold your tongue and wait to see where they are taking you. You pass through the village. Several Sivans watch from doorways and windows, their faces silent and somber. A few murmur blessings, or maybe curses, as you pass. Then you reach a low hut on the edge of the village. You are set down carefully. I guess we were captured. I thought we were going to go talk to the chief. The door is slammed and locked. A moment later, it reopens, and your possessions are thrown inside. Just wait to see what happens. You pull your knees up to your chest and wait. Jen goes to sleep immediately. The long watches of the night pass slowly, and in the end, nothing happens and no one comes. The aching in your empty belly gnaws at you with glee. Okay, let's go to daybreak. Daybreak, you are still alone. An hour passes before you hear any noise outside, and then the door to the hut opens and 5 Sivans come in. They drag you roughly out and across the street to another hut, where an old man with gray hair sits. He is wearing outlandish, colorful robes. My name is Proteus, Chief. Proteus, Chief. He slaps his chest twice. I apologize. Then he bows, brushing the dust on the floor with his sleeves. We should accept the apology. I just need to get some food. The chief nods. He waves to a menial who brings in bread and milk. That's perfect. That's everything. That's like everything that I've been working for the past 3 or 4 days. Like, ever since those elves stole the golden, like the 2 sandwiches that I brought from the first village that I started in. He waves to a menial who brings in bread and milk. I'm not leaving it. Give it to me. I am eating it. Gratefully, you bolt down the meal. It does not seem to be poisoned, and it nourishes you. The bowl is removed, and the chief squats down in a pool of cloth. Jan cowers under your own cloak, hoping to go unnoticed. I have need of you and your strength. I love these options. I will help if I can, or tell me, or I will kill you. Just tell me. Tell me what you need. The chief nods. I shall. My daughter, my child, she is taken, offered to a terrible demon below. I'm just going to say goblins. I want a little more iteration from what's happening. The chief spits at the word goblins. He shakes his head as tears well up in his eyes. We never friends, but we never enemies like this. I not understand their hate, why they care about demons in caves. I'll save them. You gave me some bread and milk. You gave me some bread and milk. I can go fight the demon. The chief wipes away a tear with a clawed finger. He gestures to the other Sivans who, still taking no chances, grab you by your arms and haul you to your feet. Okay. Looks like some kind of dungeon. It looks like some kind of dungeon. I will say this has been quite the journey through the town here. Kind of stuck more to the left side of the map. We'll have to maybe explore the other side if we run through another playthrough. I say it's probably like a good place to just like end it and like come back later. I am like interested in the storytelling in this game is it's good and unpredictable. It's not easy. I'm not having an easy time traversing the options. I seem to have been getting my ass handed to me ever since I started. So it's difficult Um, there are a lot of options just in this part one sequence, so I feel like there's a lot of replayability. We seem to be going into some kind of dungeon right now, and I mean, I've been playing for about 2 hours at this point, so I feel like I'm interested to get back into this. You can all let me know what you think. I just glad that I got the milk and bread. So I hope you all have a awesome New Year's. Be safe, and I hope you all the best. I'll catch you all in the next video, and be good.